Which video game zombie apocalypse would actually end humanity? The #1 spot shocked even me, and there's one everyone thinks is deadly. That's actually laughably easy to survive. But before that, let's look at one of the most OG apocalypses ever made: Plants vs. Zombies. The origin story is basically non-existent because the game is too busy being cute to worry about silly things like logic or making sense. These zombies shuffle across your lawn slower than my grandma when she's speed walking at the mall, moving in perfect little lines because apparently Zombie University never offered a course in how to walk around a pea shooter. But there aren't just classic zombies. You've got buckethead zombies acting all tough like wearing Home Depot gear makes them Navy SEALs, pole vaulters still living their high school glory days, and newspaper zombies having complete meltdowns when you mess with their morning read. But what about the terrifying final boss? This guy looks scary until you realize he gets absolutely wrecked by corn. Corn! Shot from what's basically a carnival game. Your entire survival strategy is literally just weekend gardening. It's not an apocalypse, it's a hobby. This lands Plants vs. Zombies apocalypse in F tier. You think Plants vs. Zombies is ridiculous? Dead Rising said, "Hold my beer," and managed to be even more absurd. They make these genetically modified wasps that spread what they creatively call zombie virus. The zombies move like they're permanently stuck in quicksand while wearing concrete boots, struggling with incredibly advanced concepts like how doors work. And don't get distracted by the shiny thing over there. Frank West, our supposed heroic photojournalist, spends the entire game taking zombie selfies and building weapons out of shopping carts, because that's apparently how seriously we're taking this deadly outbreak in this game. And here's the best part. There's literally a magic pill called Zombrex that prevents zombification. Just pop one every 12 hours and you're golden forever. It's like having a zombie apocalypse with cheat codes permanently enabled. Okay, so those first two are pretty much completely jokes. You might have thought Dead Rising was really difficult, but let's be honest, it's not. This lands Dead Rising in F tier as well. But the next apocalypse gets us started on the real ones: The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead walkers are so pathetically slow, they make sloths look like Olympic sprinters. It's the standard bite equals zombie setup. But here's the plot twist that actually makes this interesting. The zombies aren't even the main threat. They're basically just really gross moving obstacles. The real monsters? Other humans losing their absolute minds fighting over a can of beans like it's the last iPhone on Black Friday. I've played through Lee and Clementine's story multiple times, and honestly, it just proves that surviving walkers is basically tutorial mode. Surviving other humans is what requires a psychology degree and probably therapy. These walkers get completely confused by basic stealth tactics that most people could figure out during their lunch break. Any reasonably fit person with basic weapons can handle individual walkers just fine. They're basically aggressive store mannequins with terrible breath and zero problem-solving skills beyond see human, bite human, hope for the best. For all of this, Walking Dead lands in D tier. But you know what actually made me paranoid while playing though? State of Decay 2. Like regular zombies? Yeah, whatever, they're fine. Blood Plague zombies? Oh man, these red-eyed nightmares don't just want to chomp on you. They want to slowly poison you with every single hit. Every time these glowing-eyed monsters smack you around, you're building up infection in your system like you're getting dosed with radioactive poison. And let me tell you, watching that infection meter slowly tick up while you're in the middle of a fight? Pure anxiety fuel. Get hit too much and boom, you're automatically joining Team Zombies whether you like it or not. Plus, there are these absolutely disgusting pulsating plague hearts that honestly look like something straight out of my worst Cronenberg fever dream. These things are constantly spawning more infected while turning entire neighborhoods into zombie cancer zones. It's gross, it's stressful, but you know what? The community stuff's actually pretty solid. Get some organized groups together and they can totally handle this with proper planning and the willingness to blow stuff up regularly. All of this lands State of Decay 2 in D tier, but they were easy compared to what's coming. I remember the first time I played Left 4 Dead 2 and thought, oh, more shambling zombies, this'll be easy. Nope! This virus looked at regular shambling corpses and said, you know what? Let's give these guys actual jobs and make them work together. Common infected are just the warm-up, but when you meet the special infected are where this gets legitimately terrifying. Hunters turn you into a human pincushion. Smokers drag you away with their disgustingly long tongues like the world's worst fishing trip. Boomers blind you with what's basically zombie perfume right before dinner rush. And tanks literally pick up entire cars and throw them at your face. The witch just sits in corners crying like she's having an emotional breakdown until you accidentally disturb her. Then she turns you into bloody confetti with supernatural rage. But here's what makes this apocalypse tactically brilliant, and I learned this the hard way after dying about 50 times. These special infected coordinates, like they all went to the same zombie military Military Academy, Smoker yanks you away while Hunter pounces on your buddy as Boomer blinds everyone right before the main horde shows up for dinner. It's like they're running plays. Small coordinated teams can totally fight through this chaos with good communication, but abandon your teammates and literally everyone dies. No exceptions, no hero moments, just pure teamwork, or everyone's dead. Based on all of this, Left 4 Dead 2 lands in, drumroll please, C tier. Oh, but you want to talk about games that mess with your head? Dying Light basically took my sleep schedule and threw it out the window. Daytime zombies are pretty manageable. Think angry homeless people with serious hygiene issues. But nighttime? Oh boy. Nighttime brings volatiles and everything changes. These things move faster than my internet when I'm trying to binge Netflix, climb buildings like Spider-Man's psychotic evil twin, and hunt in coordinated packs that would make actual wolves nervous. I'm not even joking. The first time I got caught out after dark in this game, I literally jumped out of my chair. So this heron virus creates all sorts of specialized nightmares. Bombers that turn every encounter into accidental 4th of July fireworks, screamers whose wails attract every zombie within like 3 city blocks. And trust me, you'll hear that scream in your nightmares. Virals with parkour skills and flesh cravings. Plus these massive demolishers that require serious heavy weapons and probably therapy afterward. Kyle Crane spends most of his time perfecting his parkour skills because ground level travel at night literally equals death. The human response strategy is basically build zip lines everywhere, connect everything with UV lights, and pray the power doesn't go out during your night shift. Dying Light lands in C tier. You know what's funny though? After all that nightmare fuel and Heron, Dead Island 2 takes you to sunny LA and you're like, oh, great, at least I can work on my tan while fighting zombies. And somehow it's still less chaotic than normal rush hour traffic. So this whole thing's based on some Kuru virus that affects people differently based on their genetics, creating these immune slayers who literally can't die but make absolutely perfect zombie killing machines. It's basically like having cheat codes built directly into your DNA. Apparently this virus came from tribal cannibalism practices, then got all mutated through corporate genetic manipulation by people with seriously questionable ethics. You've got infected runners sprinting around like they're perpetually late for very important brain-eating appointments. Screamers with window-shattering sonic attacks, and these massive brutes punching through reinforced walls like they're made of cardboard. Fighting your way through infected Venice Beach becomes this weirdly glamorous apocalypse experience. Celebrity compounds transform into heavily fortified bunkers. Beach communities become maritime trading posts, and the freeway system becomes either your salvation highway or complete death trap, depending on zombie traffic density. Dead Island 2 gets in C tier, but the top 5 will make you question everything you know about survival. So I thought I'd seen massive zombie groups until I played Days Gone. This game seems totally manageable at first. Then I discovered the hordes. We're talking about hundreds, sometimes thousands, of freakers moving together like living tsunamis that can overrun literally anything in mere minutes. These migrations sweep across Oregon like nature's most terrifying flash mobs with absolutely zero concern for your personal safety. Of course, it came from bioweapons research because apparently every single zombie apocalypse absolutely needs evil corporate sponsors. But here's where it gets really messed up. Wildlife gets infected too. You've got bear-sized monsters that are essentially walking tanks made of fur and uncontrolled rage, plus wolf packs with supernatural hunting intelligence that coordinate better than most human military units. Deacon's riding around on his motorcycle searching for his missing wife Sarah while dealing with survivor camps that have wildly different ideas about rebuilding civilization. Some go full democratic, others embrace military dictatorship, and some unfortunately resort to slavery because apparently apocalypse situations bring out everyone's absolute worst impulses. Individual freakers? Totally manageable. Those massive swarms? That's when you realize you need serious strategic thinking and enough firepower to level small buildings. Days Gone lands in B tier. And then there's Resident Evil. Dude, this is where things get really messed up. You've got Umbrella Corporation, right? And these guys are like the worst kind of evil corporate suits. They're sitting around going, you know what would make us rich? Let's create zombies and sell them as weapons. Like, who thinks of that? So they make this T-virus thing and basically, okay, imagine the worst flu ever, except instead of just making you sick, it kills you and then brings you back as this flesh-eating monster. But here's the crazy part, you're still super strong and fast. It's like they tried to make super soldiers but forgot the following orders part and just kept the kill everything part. But that's just the appetizer. The real nightmare is their bioorganic weapons. I'm talking about wall-crawling lickers with exposed brains and razor-sharp tongues, lightning-fast hunters with retractable claws, laws, and these nearly indestructible tyrants that can take on actual military forces. And here's what makes this conspiracy-level evil. Umbrella deliberately tests their bioweapons on completely innocent people for realistic combat data and military sales opportunities. Raccoon City, Spencer Mansion, Rockford Island, none of these were accidents. They were calculated field tests conducted on regular folks. They'd literally blow up entire cities afterward and deny everything happened. Evil doesn't even begin to cover it. Based on all this, I will put Resident Evil's Apocalypse in B tier. If you think corporate evil is bad though, World War Z zombies literally said screw physics and decided to form human ladders that can climb freaking skyscrapers. This Solanum virus is a complete nightmare. 100% infection and death rates with absolutely zero immune people anywhere. Get bitten once and you're joining Team Zombies. No exceptions. No cures. Nothing. These infected move at Olympic sprint speeds while forming coordinated swarms that flow like liquid death around obstacles. I'm talking precision that would make actual military strategists weep. They form these human architectural structures by climbing over each other, reaching heights that should be completely impossible and turning every single wall, fence, or barricade into merely temporary speed bumps. When you've got thousands of zombies literally climbing over entire buildings using human pyramid formations that grow higher and more stable as more infected arrive, traditional military tactics become completely useless. All this gets World War Z in B tier. The top 3 will make you question everything you know about apocalypse survival. So here's where things get really weird. Back 4. Blood reveals a plot twist that changes absolutely everything. These aren't actually zombies at all, but alien invasion components disguised as a biological outbreak. The worm parasite creates creatures called Ridden that serve very specific military functions rather than just wandering around hungry. This is a calculated extraterrestrial campaign treating Earth as a battlefield. Tall boys destroy elevated positions, hawkers spit acid to force survivors out of cover, stalkers turn invisible for perfect ambushes, and ogres function as living siege engines. But here's the extinction-level terrifying part that really got to me. The worm learns from every single encounter. Use explosives effectively? The very next mission features acid-spitting variants designed to counter that exact strategy. This alien intelligence develops countermeasures in real time while terraforming the entire planet. Back 4 Bloodlands in A tier. Now this one honestly keeps me up at night sometimes. The Last of Us presents what might be the most scientifically plausible nightmare fuel ever created. The cordyceps infection is based on real-world fungi that actually control insect behavior in nature, just mutated to affect humans with absolutely devastating efficiency. What really gets me about this one is how it evolves over time. Runners appear mostly normal, but become increasingly aggressive. Stalkers develop sophisticated stealth capabilities that make you constantly paranoid. Clickers become blind, but gain echolocation abilities and bulletproof fungal armor. And bloaters throw highly toxic spore bombs that'll clear out entire rooms. But the absolutely terrifying Rat King? That's multiple infected individuals fused together over decades into single enormous creatures combining all previous abilities. Joel and Ellie's story shows complete government collapse. 20 years later, it seemed survivable, until you learn what the fungus was really doing, with the fungus persisting environmentally, making entire cities lethal decades later while actively reshaping entire ecosystems. All this gets The Last of Us in A tier. But you want to know what true despair feels like? Try Project Zomboid. I swear this game was designed by someone who really wanted to ruin your day. It's probably the most realistic and depressing zombie scenario ever created. The Knox event unfolds in Kentucky during July 1993 with terrifying attention to detail that makes it feel unnervingly plausible. Phone lines get cut days before any quarantine announcement, strongly suggesting the government knew this was coming and had predetermined abandonment protocols. The military immediately establishes heavily armed roadblocks, turning away desperately fleeing civilians at gunpoint while specialized hazmat teams move into contaminated zones with obvious prior preparation. This isn't an emergency response, it's calculated abandonment. And here's what puts this in true extinction territory. The infection eventually becomes completely airborne. Everyone except you becomes vulnerable simply through breathing. The game literally tells you this is how you died from startup, because survival isn't even the goal. It's just documenting your inevitable demise while society collapses with absolutely no hope of rescue or escape. Where does this land? You might think B tier, but I think because of the airborne transmission, it makes sense to go S tier. Now, the next two operate on cosmic scales beyond human comprehension. Dead Space presents alien marker artifacts that systematically convert all organic matter throughout the entire galaxy into components of a single unified extraterrestrial consciousness. Necromorphs are restructured organic tissue transformed into specialized predatory organisms. Here's what really messed with my head. Traditional zombie killing tactics become completely useless since headshots are meaningless. You have to strategically dismember them piece by piece, while they continue attacking with whatever remaining body parts they still have. The creature catalog reads like pure cosmic horror. Slashers with blade arms, lurkers created from reanimated human infants, dividers that literally split into multiple enemies, massive brutes, room-sized leviathans. But individual monsters are just the beginning. Markers affect living human minds, causing hallucinations, paranoia, and progressive dementia through mechanisms that current science literally can't understand. Dead Space lands in Extinction Tier. That's right, my own special tier because this is my channel and I can do what I want. But let me take you through the absolute champion of impossible scenarios. Call of Duty Zombies attracts cosmic entities called apothecons, evil deities existing outside normal space-time who use Element 115 to systematically invade and corrupt entire realities across multiple dimensions. This isn't just a zombie outbreak. It's genuine multiversal extinction involving time travel, alternate dimension warfare, and zombies with literal supernatural abilities. Element 115 was discovered by Nazi research organization Group 935 during World War II. When they start experimenting, they discover it reanimates dead tissue, manipulates space-time properties, grants supernatural abilities, and attracts cosmic entities existing completely outside normal reality. The zombie variety throughout different maps is absolutely insane. Astronaut zombies on lunar bases, hellhounds breathing supernatural fire while teleporting through dimensional portals, massive robot zombies wearing medieval armor, napalm zombies perpetually on fire, shrieker zombies with sonic stunning attacks, zombie monkeys falling from dimensional rifts to steal your weapons. The storyline spans multiple parallel universes with protagonists bouncing between completely different realities, trying to prevent total destruction of all possible existence. Throughout various storylines, the world literally ends multiple times. Nuclear missiles from the moon, entire dimensions collapsing, reality tearing apart. The good ending requires heroes erasing themselves from existence across multiple timelines to prevent infinite realities being consumed by cosmic horror entities. Call of Duty obviously lands in Extinction Tier. If you enjoyed this video and want to see why you wouldn't survive a zombie apocalypse, click it now.